fact, it was the first time Somkit Chantra had crashed all year. He went down, Chanon Chu went down, who will be sporting the number 3, Chantra number 18, and that meant Andy Izdihar could go through and win, and not only win, but give himself an enormous opportunity to win this championship. Jerry Salim here, another rider from Indonesia. He's 5th overall in the standings, 136 points, but unfortunately he's too far behind to have any say in the overall win, unless, of course, he upsets the proceedings. But he's 37 adrift with just 25 on offer here. There are 4 riders that play a part today. Ayagura, number 9, is 6 points clear. Andy Izdihar on pole is 6 points down. Ryosei Yamanaka is next up in the championship. He's 19 points away. And then it's Somkit Chantra. This is Yuki Kuni, who sports the number 5, 13-year-old, first season in the class. 3 podiums for him this year, 2 wins as well. 2 of those wins coming in the last 4 races. 3 podiums and 4 races for Yuki Kuni, a rider on form. He can't win the championship, but he could well play a big part in today's race. Next up on the grid will be Somkit Chantra. Could not believe what had happened to him yesterday. He had his head in his hands after he fell over at turn 9. But there was some light at the end of the tunnel because the results panned out in a certain way, which meant he still has a glimmer of hope in the series, and it could have been oh so different. He would need things to go his way, but all Somkit Chantra can really do today is win. And likewise for Ryosei Yamanaka as well. Here he is, number 12. 14-year-old. He was a rookie last year, finishing in 15th overall, but he's had 5 podiums this season, Ryosei Yamanaka. Crucially, he's not had a race win, so you would feel that that would have to change here today if he were to become the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup champion. The favourite, without doubt, is Ayagura, but his form here in Sepang is a bit sketchy. More on that when we get into the race. Here's Irfan Ardiansyah, a rider that hails from Indonesia, and he is looking for another top 10. He's finished in the top 10 4 or 5 times this season, but not had a top 6 finish, crucially, just yet. Next up here is Kazuki Masaki. Finished 3rd last year in the championship. Many people thought he would have more of a say in this season. Unfortunately for him, though, he didn't really get that podium consistency going until we arrived in Motegi a fortnight ago. By then it was too late, though he has been on the podium now in the last 3 races, a 2nd and a 3rd in Motegi and a 2nd here yesterday. He won one of the races here last year as well, so don't be surprised to see number 2 featuring at the sharp end. Now, as for the conditions, well, yesterday they were kind of mixed. It looked like they were all going to start on slicks at one point, then wets, but here they are all now going out on wets officially. Here's Chanon Chu, 13-year-old from Turkey. First year that Turkish riders have been allowed into the championship, and he's just been recently accepted into the Red Bull Rookies, so keep an eye on him. As the planes fly out, there's some people make their way home already from the Sepang International Circuit. The Kuala Lumpur International Airport, of course, only about, what, 15 minutes away, around the corner. Here is Bahattin Safoğlu, another of the Turkish riders. You might recognise the surname, cousin of 5-time World Supersport champion Kenan Safoğlu. He'll be looking for another decent result. It's his first full season, 16th overall. Didn't finish yesterday's race, though. Not had a top 10. He'll be looking for that to change. There is Ayagura. Keep an eye out for the number 9. It's all about numbers here in this race. Most of them have similar helmet designs. They all have the same leathers. They all have the same bikes. And so it's down to the numbers there you can see. On the right, we'll start from the right, 23, is Andy Izdihar. He's 6 points down in the championship. But we will give you regular championship updates throughout the race. There's your championship leader with a Japanese flag on the top of his helmet, number 9. Ayagura, number 4 there, just going through. Jerry Salim cannot now win the championship, and I bet he's wondering what's happened. Capitulation is probably an understatement, number 4. He crashed out yesterday. His championship has turned upside down. When we went to Japan a fortnight ago, he was well in with a shout. He's not anymore. A few fans still sticking around here. As we said before, the great thing for whoever wins this championship by the end of this race is that they know that there's a bright future ahead. Next year's Asia Talent Cup competition, the selection process is already underway, over 100 entries for that. And so it looks as though we'll be seeing plenty more riders from the Pacific Asia region as years go by. Both of the previous champions in this class, Kaito Toba in 2014 and Ayumu Sasaki, moving into the Moto3 World Championship full-time in 2017. There is Somket Chantra then, number 18, just up ahead of Jerry Salim. Number 10 there, that's Dwiki Zapata from Indonesia. Number 11 just going through is Izam Iqmal, one of the home riders here, Malaysian. As the warm-up lap gets underway. Now, this is the only concern for Ayagura, who leads the championship, number 9. He's had a good season so far, 6 podiums from the 11 races and 3 wins as we look at the pole man, Andy Izdihar. Ayagura has been to Malaysia now. This will be his 8th race in Malaysia because he was here in the championship last year. We came here twice last year, 4 races. We had 2 earlier in the season. He's not finished on the podium in any of those races. That is the only concern. So Ayagura will have to step it up a bit here, despite the fact that he's the championship leader. Andy Izdihar, by stark contrast, has got a brilliant record here. He was on the podium here last season when he was 9th overall in the championship. He was a winner here earlier on in the season, and he won here yesterday as well. So if Andy Izdihar repeats that, let's just say Andy Izdihar, number 23, does go on to win this race here this afternoon, Ayagura has to finish in 2nd place overall in this race to be crowned champion. So you could say that Ayagura needs to get off to a decent start. Yesterday, Agura really struggled off the line. He got swallowed up and fell all the way back to 7th or 8th. Never ended up playing a part. I suppose luckily for him, a couple of riders going down in front of him meant that he kept his championship lead. But this is an important one for him. Here we go then. Down onto pole position. The onboard camera here on board Andy Izdihar's bike. And that's the view that he's got. One of the older riders in this championship. He's 19. Won the race yesterday. That was his 6th podium and his 3rd win. Brilliant save from him also at turn number 9. There's a 13-lap race coming up here to decide the 2016 Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup champion, and away we go. Great start from Izdihar on pole position. Somkit Chantra struggled to get away. Ayagura already has been demoted back to 3rd place because Jerry Salim is coming through. He's taking a wide line into turn 1 and should get the whole shot, and he does indeed. Ayagura is battling back though. He's having a look up the inside. It will be Jerry Salim with the whole shot up ahead of Ayagura, the championship leader, with Andy Izdihar just further back there in 3rd. We should point out, of course, that if Izdihar or Yamanaka or Chantra go down in this race, that's it. Their championship chances are gone, and these are pretty treacherous conditions here for these 12 to 19-year-olds. But it's Jerry Salim that leads coming out of turn number 3. Number 4 here, up ahead of Ayagura. Number 23 is Andy Izdihar. Yuki Kuni then trying to make up for a place or two. Just thought about going up the inside of Somkit Chantra. Just up there in 4th place then is Kazuki Masaki. Told you to keep an eye on that one. He will feature at some point at the sharp end of this race. Salim leads, Ayagura in 2nd place at the moment. That's good enough for him. He won't have rear view mirrors, but his championship rival, certainly his nearest championship rival anyway, has just gone down a place, and now so has Ayagura. Kazuki Masaki then made up 2 places. There's Andy Izdihar. He lifts up Ayagura. So your 2 main championship rivals are there, 3rd and 4th in this race, 23 and number 9. At the front, though, is Jerry Salim as we brake hard now into turn 9. This was the scene of a few accidents here yesterday in the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup, and it gets a bit tricky there for number 4, Jerry Salim, as we're on board now with Andy Izdihar, who was on pole. He's fallen back and now trying to fight his way to the front of this race. Out front, it's Kazuki Masaki, and there's a big crash in the background there. Is that Who is that's gone down? It's Yuki Kuni. Yuki Kuni, unfortunately, went down in Motegi as well and ended his chances of becoming a champion, and it looks like he's suffering a similar issue here. Coming into now turn 14, there is Ayagura just battling away with Somkit Chantra, and in fact pushing Somkit Chantra all the way over onto the curbs. On they come to the back straight then. Yuki Kuni, I think, might just rejoin, and we'll get confirmation of that in a moment, but that's the end of his chances of winning. Kazuki Masaki's not had a win yet this season, going for it. Look at that line there from number 9. Ayagura, brilliantly done. Up the inside of Jerry Salim, he moves back up into 3rd place. As things stand, as they go across the line, Ayagura would remain champion just because he's just behind Andy Izdihar. There's 20 points on offer for the 2nd, 16 for 3rd. But look at the drive that Ayagura has got there onto the start-finish straight. He goes past Andy Izdihar like he stood still there. Andy Izdihar says, no, you don't know. We're on board with him now. Back up the inside of Ayagura he goes. He knows exactly what's at stake here. He has to finish ahead of Ayagura at all costs. Behind those two, you've then got Jerry Salim, number 4, and Somkit Chantra, number 18. Number 6 there, that's Ardiencia, he's done really well. Sofwoglu with a great start, he's 7th. Then the 2 twins, Chan and Denit Sonchu, 13-year-olds from Turkey. And then Kawasaki, as Andy Izdihar goes to the front. So now it's all changed. That would give Andy Izdihar the championship. I don't know if Kazuki Masaki's got a problem here or not. I wonder if Kazuki Masaki's in the mood to help his fellow Japanese rider, Ayagura. You might think they're all out on their own with this one, but it would be intriguing to know whether or not some of these nationalities are going to help each other in terms of who wins this championship, because Kazuki Masaki cannot win the series, but he could certainly have a say on who does. And I'm sure, unless they're not fans of each other, he would rather see Ayagura on that top step than Andy Izdihar, but stranger things have happened. There is Izdihar ahead of Masaki, and then it's Ayagura and Jerry Salim, followed by Somkit Chantra. Chantra at the moment, he ain't going to do much from there. Bad news for Yamanaka, by the way, 3rd in the championship. Ryusei Yamanaka at the moment, he's going to have to make up some time. He's in 11th place. Confirmation there that as things stand, with Izdihar, who we ride on board with, out front, he would be crowned champion by just 3 points. Ayagura has to finish directly behind Izdihar to be crowned champion. So no matter where Izdihar finishes, provided Ayagura is 1 place behind him or better, he knows that the championship there is going to be secure. Onto the back straight we go then, here on lap number 2. Andy Izdihar leads, Kazuki Masaki there, number 2 in 2nd. Ayagura in 3rd, now coming under threat from Thai rider Somkit Chantra. Chantra knows that he's got to beat up Ayagura, really. He needs a couple of his title rivals to really have major problems here in this race for things to work out. So Somkit Chantra, don't be surprised to see the number 18 coming up with some tricky little moves here just to roughen up the championship leader, Ayagura. He knows what's at stake. Number 4 in the background is Jerry Salim. And then it is Ardiencia, who's having the ride of his life. Now, this could get a bit tricky down into turn 1. Izdihar remains then out front. Ayagura up into 2nd, but he runs wide. And he's now lost out on 2nd place as they go into turn 2. Here's a replay then of Ayagura just exceeding the track limits there. You have to be a bit careful. You won't want to do that too many times because you'll get penalised. As it stands then, Masaki in 2nd place. Ayagura there, now looking to go up into 2nd and does so. Masaki left a door wide open there into turn 4. It's almost like he's allowing his fellow Japanese rider through, and can he act now as a wingman for his fellow countrymen as Somkit Chantra and Jerry Salim try and find a way through. They come around turn number 5, flick right, change direction onto turn 6. Then the double apex right-handers coming up, 7 and 8. Andy Izdihar's opening up a lead here, and this might be a bit worrying for Ayagura. At the moment, he'd be okay. As it stands, in fact, he'd win the championship by a single point. Kazuki Masaki there in 3rd. Chantra, number 18, faint to move up the inside, doesn't quite work. Further down now, the NCR is still 6th, and Sofwoglu. Yamanaka's made up 2 or 3 places now. gaps there just at the bottom of your screen. Andy Izdihar is building a lead here in this race. So now we see flicking right around turn number 13. Then around 14 and onto the back straight once more. Kazuki Masaki acting as a perfect wingman at the moment to Ayagura, as Somkit Chantra now tries to find a way through. Onto the back straight we go then. Half a second between Izdihar and Agura then. So Agura's closed that gap down momentarily, but here comes Kazuki Masaki, and so you could argue that if anyone thought that Kazuki Masaki was helping his fellow countrymen out, that could be, those thoughts could be put to bed pretty quickly after a move like that, because that won't do the pair of them any good in trying to catch up to Andy Izdihar out front. 2:33.044 for Andy Izdihar is the fastest lap of the leading group, but further back it's Ryusei Yamanaka who's the quickest rider on circuit. Third in the championship, Yamanaka. He really needed to get himself on the top step today, and so he'll be ruining the fact that he's back there. There he is, number 12, coming out of turn 2 now. It's not quite over just yet, of course, after what happened yesterday and then all the drama in the last few laps. You wouldn't really want to call this one just now. Izdihar it is then that has the lead. Let's just watch this restart again. Coming down into turn 1. Izdihar with a decent start. Salim there, number 4, coming across. Ayagura initially looked to outbrake them. Going around the outside there as well. Look like Jerry Salim. This is the replay of the race start for Andy Izdihar. It's just how close it is on these Hondas. Andy Izdihar, one of the taller riders, so not difficult to slipstream the 19-year-old. His lead that he built up a little while ago, a couple of laps ago, was up to 1 second, and while we've been watching these replays, the lead's coming down. Ayagura has gone back up into second place past Masaki, and it's down to 3 or 4 tenths, and we'll see that in a moment. There you go. Ayagura is now onto the tail of Andy Izdihar. The best thing that Ayagura could do if he wants to try and make this a little more comfortable is get past Andy Izdihar and let him play around with Jerry Salim, Somkit Chantra and Kazuki Masaki. Safwoglu, Bahatin Safwoglu, is having a very, very good ride at this moment in time. I should just quickly point him out. He's just moved up another place into 6th overall. As I said earlier, he's not had a top 10 all year, so that would be his best result by quite a considerable margin. Yamanaka's just up behind him. I don't think it'll be long before Yamanaka goes past him, though. There is Bahatin Safwoglu, number 14. At the front, though, it's all change. Izdihar's lead has all gone as Ayagura, though, goes wide down into the final corner and allows them back through again. He's lost 2 or 3 places there, maybe even 4. Onto the start-finish straight we go again, and Kazuki Masaki now leads from Andy Izdihar. Here is Ayagura, number 9, the championship leader, passing in a very odd line there from Ayagura as he tries to find a way past Andy Izdihar. And then they break into turn 1, contrasting lines from everyone there. Andy Izdihar then goes through to the lead. Ayagura looking to go the long way round around the outside. Well, this could be brilliant. Is it going to work? He might just have the inside line to hold on to second place. Oh, it's getting a bit tight down there into turn 2. Be very careful, Ayagura. You do not want to throw it down the road. Andy Izdihar then, who had a big lead, lost it, went down to 3rd, and then he's fought his way back through again. Izdihar has it with 9 laps to go. Number 23, the Indonesian, up ahead of Japan's Ayagura. Then it is Kazuki Masaki, Somkit Chantra, Jerry Salim. And those 5 have got, what, about a second gap over Bahatin Safwoglu, Denitsonchu and Yamanaka. Brilliant move that. Absolutely brilliant move from Ayagura. He's probably just going to lose the advantage as the cutback comes into play, as Kazuki Masaki then gives Andy Izdihar a nudge. And I think Ayagura's popping through there as well. He is. Ayagura's gone down, and that's Kazuki Masaki. He's gone down. He was acting as a perfect wingman for Ayagura. At least he's okay. Well, that got a bit close, didn't it? Kazuki Masaki has gone down with 9 laps to go. Watch this. There's a Izdihar, number 23. A nudge then from Kazuki Masaki. Then Ayagura comes through on the pair of them. Andy Izdihar coming through, just on the power high side. Oh, I tell you what, Andy Izdihar's championship nearly went up in smoke then because he almost ran into the back. Who's that? Who's that? Ayagura! Ayagura's gone down! The championship leader! Can you believe it? While we're looking at that other crash, Ayagura, the championship leader, has gone down. What's happened? Oh, no way! Unbelievable! That's a monster crash. I cannot believe what we're seeing here. Ayagura, who had the championship there, right in front of him, has gone down. He's trying desperately to get the bike restarted again, but it's not gonna happen. Well, what a change this is. Somkit Chantra now leads this race, the tie rider. Andy Izdihar comes through. Number 4 is Jerry Salim. Now, I can tell you that as things stand, we'll go across the line here. We'll try and catch up with things, but I believe Andy Izdihar would now be the championship leader. You cannot. He is. There you go, confirmation. Andy Izdihar 9 points clear of Somkit Chantra. Ayagura drops to 3rd, Yamanaka 4th. All of a sudden, number 7, Denitz Onchu, is an unlikely rider that could fight for this win. And Yamanaka now can sniff victory as well. You just cannot call the Asia Talent Cup. And there's Ayagura, it's all over. It's all over. Unbelievable. He came into this weekend with a 9-point lead. It dropped to 6 yesterday. Now he's out of the race. I should just point out that his championship looks like it's gone up in smoke, but with the Asia Talent Cup, there's still 8 laps to go. I mean, the other 3 guys might chuck it at the scenery as yet. You've got no idea what might happen. But that is heartbreaking for Ayagura. And all of a sudden, Somkit Chantra's got a chance here now. He and Jerry Salim are battling away for the overall race win. In 3rd now is Andy Izdihar. Now, he will have seen what's just happened there. So what does that now do to his mindset? Ayagura there. Well, he's young, and at the moment, he looks okay. I thought I was going to see floods of tears there. But at the moment, not just yet, because of course it's not quite over until it's over. Yamanaka's moved up into 5th place ahead of Shogo Kawasaki. So look out for the number 12 if he can bridge that gap. The riders now head around turns 10 and 11, coming up to 12. Well, yesterday we saw some drama at the end of the race. Is there another twist to the tail here? There's Andy Izdihar, who at the moment on screen would be your champion, but a moment ago on screen your champion just went off, so anything could happen. There's Yamanaka, number 12. Yamanaka still in the top 3 or 4 of the championship as it stands. And then there's a big group of riders there just at the background beyond Yamanaka that could still play a part as well. Some riders there that are on for their best ever results. Onto the start-finish straight we go then. There's 7 laps to go when they go across the line now, and it's Somkit Chantra that leads. Number 18, the rider from Thailand. Indonesia's Jerry Salim then in 2nd place, and in 3rd now is Denitz Onchu, as Andy Izdihar falls back into 4th place. Denitz Onchu has never had a win before, and we've lost one. It's Jerry Salim. 2 crashes in 2 days for the Indonesian, and that kind of sums up the last fortnight for him. He had a chance when we went into Japan. He was in the top 3 of the championship. He has had an absolute shocker recently, and he's down and out of the race. Does anyone want to win this? That's the question that we have to ask. All of a sudden now, Andy Izdihar's gone back up into 2nd place. Somkit Chantra leads. He would have 25 points. It would be enough possibly to move him into 2nd in the championship, but he needs number 23, Andy Izdihar, to fall away for anything realistically to properly change here. Just never know what might just happen. As it stands, Izdihar's still up there. There's Denitz Onchu, number 7. 13-year-old, 10th overall in the championship. Best result of the season so far was a 5th that he got yesterday. His twin brother, Can Onchu, has just moved up to 7th. So the 2 Turkish twins are on the move, and in fact, Turkey in general are on the move. There's confirmation of the standings as it stands. Izdihar would be the new champion if he stays there in 2nd place. There we see number 15, that's Shogo Kawasaki. He's in 5th place. I don't really know which way to look at the moment. Anything possible. There's Denitson Chu. You get the impression as well, Denitson Chu, because he doesn't have any part to play in the championship, unlike the riders ahead of him. He'd probably be willing to do anything here to get the race win. This is not over just yet, not by any stretch of the imagination. Samkit Chatra leads it from Andy Izdihar. Izdihar, the Indonesian, would be crowned Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup champion if the checkered flag went out now. But the bad news is, for those guys anyway, it ain't going to go out yet, not for another 6 and a bit laps. Coming down the back straight then, Denitson Chu comes out of the slipstream. Tiny rider compared to Izdihar, who we're now on board with. Ooh, just up ahead there, that's Samkit Chatra going wide. They now make their way onto the start, finishing straight again. Izdihar would lose a couple of points by dropping down to 3rd. He'd take 16. He'd still be crowned champion at this rate. But he won't want to fall back too far, because then that would hand the advantage to Samkit Chatra again. Shogo Kawasaki has gone past Yamanaka. He's moved up into 4th. We've got confirmation of Nakamura, who has gone down, I'm afraid. Hiroki Nakamura, number 20, down and out of this race. Chanon Chu, fastest rider on circuit. The other twin, number 3, he was up at the sharp end yesterday when falling. He and Samkit Chatra were 1 and 2 before they crashed over at turn number 9. Chatra at the moment has got the lead. Here comes Andy Izdihar again, just to kind of cement his status as the championship winner-elect as it stands then out on circuit. Ayagura obviously just hoping that something dramatic happens out here. And that really would be the turn-up for the books, winning a championship whilst watching from a gravel trap, but at the moment it doesn't look likely. Should be, in theory, one of these two at the front that wins this championship, and realistically speaking, number 23, Andy Izdihar, should be able to comfortably take this home, but in these conditions at Sepang, you just never know. So Samkit Chatra then continues to build on his lead ahead of Andy Izdihar, Denitson Chu. Then it's Yamanaka. There's Chanon Chu. So we've got On Chu twins in 3rd and 5th now. Numbers 7 and 3 would be their best results of the season by a long way. Here is Samkit Chatra, just hitting his rev limiter there as they tip in left. Then they'll tip right into the final corner. Sorry, the penultimate corner of this circuit, turn 14. Good couple of laps this from Samkit Chatra, number 18. Samkit Chatra yesterday was on his hands and knees, could not believe that he went out of the race. It was his first DNF of the season. And you're now beginning to think that had that not have happened, Thailand would have had a Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup champion. Denitson Chu has just moved up into 2nd place. Now, Andy Izdihar in 3rd there, needs to be a bit careful now. Oh, twitch there, just further back. If he falls back to 6th or 7th, his championship lead then comes under threat. And here comes Yamanaka, pulling out of the slipstream. Will Andy Izdihar move down to 4th place for a moment? Into turn 1 we break. Izdihar normally pretty good on the brakes. He is. He goes back up into 3rd place as they tip into turn 1. Yamanaka, will he have a look up the inside as they then flip left? Not quite close enough. Izdihar thought about it. On board now with Izdihar in 3rd place. Look at Samkit Chatra, he's gone. Out front, he has gone. As you see there, look at that. As it stands, in 3rd, Izdihar would still be champion, but only by 2 points. So if Izdihar loses one more place, it'll be all over. And Izdihar's going for an ambitious look up the inside into turn 4. I was a little bit worried there as to whether or not that would work. What this has done, of course, is allowed Samkit Chatra just to get away again out front. Samkit Chatra made a dramatic mistake yesterday. He won't want to do the same again. Bizarre race, this. Chanon Chu, all of a sudden, has got himself up into 2nd place, and his twin brother Denit's there going a bit wide, almost tucking the front. Can't keep up with this. It's absolutely crazy here. Samkit Chatra leads. There he is, number 18 from Thailand. 3 is Chanornchu. There's number 23, Andy Istihar. If he stays in 3rd, he's got this. He will be the champion. Yamanaka's then 4th. Denitsonchu is in 5th. Then it's Shogo Kawasaki, number 15. I'll tell you what, Andy Istihar has had a scrappy couple of laps, the number 23. Needs to be very careful indeed. He could do with getting up into 2nd again and just trying to close that gap down out front, although Chanornchu now looks like he wants to clear off. Watch this coming down the back straight, because Chantra and Onchu are fine. A little tap on the rear seat unit there from Shogo Kawasaki, who's basically saying to Denitz and to Ardinciar, follow me. As we come down the back straight, just as we suspected, Yamanaka's gone through on Andy Istihar. Now that would change everything all over again as we now go on to the start-finish straight. If my maths are correct, Somkit Chantra, as it stands, would win the championship by a point. And there you see, it would be even more now because he's just lost another place. Andy Istihar is in the danger zone. He is in territory he does not want to be in. And there he goes, fights back and takes another 2 places back. And this is crucial now for Andy Istihar. He has got to be really careful. He tipped left. That was a brilliant move there from Yamanaka. He's just now moved up into 3rd place as they tip right and head uphill. So they come through sector 1. Somkit Chantra fastest lap. He's checking out. Onchu in 3rd. Istihar, number 23, basically, as things stand, has to stay where he is now to be crowned champion. If he finishes any further back, and let's be honest, it's entirely possible with, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 hungry riders over his shoulder. He's got to defend like he's never defended before to take the championship. If he loses one of those spots, then Somkit Chantra, having had his head in his hands yesterday, thinking it was all over, 20 points down he was, with 25 available today. He shouldn't have been possible. At the moment, it's within reach, but of course he needs a few favours. Chantra's just checking out. Istihar would still be champion at the moment. Let's just see. Okay, I think I've got my maths slightly wrong now. Istihar would be taking 16 points as it stands. He'd be on 183. Yeah, it was my maths that were wrong. Andy Istihar's okay for a couple of places, so he doesn't have to finish in 3rd. Apologies for that. My maths gone wrong. Get the abacus out. Andy Istihar can afford to finish in 3rd. He can afford to finish in 4th. He can probably afford to finish in 5th as well. It would be locked on points, actually, if he finished in 5th. So, yeah, I mean, anything can happen here. But Istihar, if he's in the top 4 places, he's definitely got it. Chantra it is that leads. There's Chanornchu in 2nd. Andy Istihar desperate to try and hold on to that spot there. They go a bit wide, though, down into the final turn and onto the start-finish straight we go once more. 3 laps to go. And he might get gobbled up here on slipstream after the block pass. Across the line, we have 3 laps remaining. There's Andy Istihar on the inside line, but he has been passed. He's good on the brakes, though, into turn 1. Can he regain that position back again? Yes, he can. He comes through. Now, can he hold it together, or will he run right? He does so well into turn 1, Andy Istihar. Full credit to him. Then it's Onchu, looking like an angry little wasp there in 4th place. He is just all over the place. He's all elbows and legs, considering he's quite a diddy rider. He's pint-sized. Andy Istihar must be wondering what he's got to do here. He really almost, if he finishes in 3rd, he deserves it, because he's going to have some trouble here from now until the end of the race. Chantra leads. He's doing all he can. Ayagura will be watching this thinking, I cannot believe what's happened. He'll be over at turn 13, watching all of this unfold, barely able to believe that he came into today with a 6-point championship lead, and then he's thrown it away at the last hurdle. Is there another twist to the tail? Here is Somkit Chantra. Well, 20 points down coming into today. He knew what he had to do. He had to win the race and he had to hope for other results to take care of themselves behind. He can't control that. Ayagura going down has definitely done him a big favour. Now he needs number 7 there and number 15 to both go past him, because he'd then be on 178, and that would be exactly the same amount as Somkit Chantra. But Chantra, would he have more wins? He wouldn't. It would be a close run thing. I think it would go to countback on second place finishers. We won't even bother going into that just yet until we get to the end, because there's no way of knowing. There you can see Shogo Kawasaki there, number 15, just saying to the rest of them, stick with me, I'll drag you to Istihar, and then we'll see what happens. Istihar in third at the moment with 2 laps to go, in control. They go into turn 15. They begin the penultimate lap of the race. Somkit Chantra goes across the line and leads with 2 laps to go. On Chu, that's Chan on Chu, on for his best result. But these 2 riders were in the same positions yesterday until they fell. There's Andy Istihar. He goes across the line in 4th, but he outbreaks them all again into turn number 1. And he holds it again. His late braking, which I suppose, because he's the taller rider, he's slightly older, slightly bigger framed, he's having to do a little bit more work on the brakes, is Andy Istihar, but he's doing a sterling job of it. Down into turn 1. He is getting slipstreamed like crazy down the start-finish straight, so he won't want 2 or 3 riders close to him. This could be a bit of a nail-biter going across the line, because Chantra could win, slow down, have a look over his shoulder, and then it's just going to be a matter of where Istihar finishes. As for Yamanaka, who was 3rd into the championship coming into today, well, he has to win if he wants anything to say in this championship. Who's that that's gone down? Who is that? That's an Indonesian rider. It's Istihar! It's Istihar's gone down! I do not believe it! I do not believe what I'm seeing, and he looks hurt as well. Not only hurt, but I would imagine that he is soul destroyed. His bike is down. You just cannot write this. Somkit Chantra is going to inherit the championship. How on earth is this possible? What we are seeing here, he looks like he's hurt his hand. Somkit Chantra won't know yet. Now, I don't even know if some of these guys have pit boards that are good enough to inform the riders. As in, I don't think they have the equipment to inform the riders that others are down, unless there's some sort of secret signals going on. Andy Istihar, he looks like he's hurt his hand or his fingers. What happened here? Now then, they flick right. He's there. He's just high-sided. You cannot believe this. Well, we're coming up to turn 15. Somkit Chantra was down on his backside yesterday at turn number 9, on his hands and knees, because the championship was over. Then a few things developed on circuit, which meant that today was possible all of a sudden, although it was a pretty small window of opportunity. Now, Somkit Chantra's definitely had something put on his pit board there. Will that inform him of what's just happened? Because I should point out that if he was to then go down in this race on the last lap, Ayagura would be crowned champion. Well, this is just unbelievable. Last lap of the race, Somkit Chantra now is in charge. 3 different championship changes in this race alone. There he is, the race leader, number 18. 4 seconds clear of the twins, and there's confirmation of it. He'd have a 5-point lead over Ayagura. There's Chan on Chu, and there's Denitz on Chu. 15 is Shogo Kawasaki, number 12 is Yamanaka. Half a lap to go for Somkit Chantra to be crowned the most unlikely champion after what happened yesterday. That would be unbelievable. Fancy going into the final day of the season, 20 points down, 4th in the championship, and then taking the spoils. Really would be something else. The Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup does not fail to disappoint in terms of action. There are only 14 riders left in this, so you could go out there on a push bike and still pick up a point. Last lap for Somkit Chantra. Oh, I'll tell you what, this is going to feel like the most dodgy final lap he's ever done in his life. He's gone round turn 9, round turn 10 now. Turn 13 and 14 is what has caught a couple of riders out so far. Steady as you go, Somkit. Who's that that's just gone down? That's Shogo Kawasaki. Shogo Kawasaki has now gone down out of the top 5, and he's absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. Somkit Chantra comes into turn 14. He'll breathe a big sigh of relief there. He's on the power, he's on the back straight. He's got 1 turn left. Just 1 turn left. Somkit Chantra to be crowned champion. The two twins, Chan and Denit Sonchu, well, they're about to get their first ever podiums as well. The two 13-year-old twins. Here he comes then into the final corner. Somkit Chantra's just got to wind it on. Nothing too silly. Onto the start, finish straight. And he's done it. Can you believe it? Somkit Chantra wins race 2 in Sepang. And he is the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup champion for 2016. In the background, the two twins are going absolutely mental like they've just won the lottery. Chan and Denit Sonchu, get this, how wonderful is this? The two 13-year-old twins, they get their first career podiums and they're on there together. Somkit Chantra can't believe it. I can't believe it. The rider who was least likely to win this championship when we got off to the start 13 laps ago was Somkit Chantra. And thanks to both Ayagura and Andy Istihar throwing it up the road, it's all changed. And for the first time in this championship, we have someone not from Japan winning it. The Thai rider has gone and done it. What a story it is for him. I remember last year commentating on the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup, and over in the first round in Thailand with the World Superbike Championship, we saw this young man, 17-year-old, winning the race, and the crowd went mental. He then picked up injury and couldn't take part in the rest of the championship, and he was absolutely gutted. This year he came into it, the 17-year-old. He won another race in Thailand at the start of the year. He won then in Malaysia early on in the year. But in Japan a couple of weeks ago, he finished 6th and 4th. Here's this on-board moment then for Istihar. Listen, just as he gets on the power, high side. Big crash that, nasty one as well. Hope he's okay. And this is the moment Somkit Chantra has a look over his shoulder, points to the skies and says, how on earth has that just happened? There's been elements of luck involved in that, but there's also been sprinkles of genius from Somkit Chantra, because, like we said, when he was on the grid at the start of this race, what did he have to do? He had to win the race. Now, he worked hard to get to the front, really hard. And it's, you know, just can't believe it. There you see the two twins there are going to be absolutely over the moon. Chantra's going to win this by 5 points. Ayagura, who's on his backside at the start of the race, somehow manages to hold on to 2nd overall in the series, although he's going to be gutted. Istihar and Yamanaka are going to lock on 167 points for 3rd, I believe. The two twins are going to end the season in 9th and 10th in the championship. Chan and Denit Sonchu. I bet he can't wait to get down into Parc Ferme now, Somkit Chantra. There would not have been many people, myself included, that would have thought that was possible in any way. Now, the rest of the Asia Talent Cup riders, of course, just peeling right into the Asia Talent Cup paddock. These guys, look at them. Look at them there, the two Turkish two. This is brilliant. Keep an eye on these two. Just keep an eye on them. Absolutely brilliant. They are tiny, these boys, as well. I tell you what, God blimey, they nearly wiped into each other then. I don't think Denit Sonchu knows where he's got to go. He's going in the grass and then on the gravel and all sorts. Don't stack it now. Now he's going back over the grass again. What on earth are these boys doing? it's a good job they know their way around the track, because they certainly don't know their way into pit lane. There's Somkhet Chantra, though, as he waves to the Thai fans that are here as well. And there are screams already. This will mean such a lot, such a lot. There we go, champion of 2016. I bet he cannot believe it. Jubilant scenes for Somkhet Chantra. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The two twins are now coming. Finally, they've found their way to Parc Ferme. Well, we've got one of them anyway. Alberto Puig there, going over to congratulate Somkhet. And for the first time in Asia Talent Cup history, not only do we have a Thai champion, but we have some Turkish riders in Parc Ferme as well. The first year Turkey has been put into the championship, and they have delivered. Never say never, I think that is the headline you could sort of use for this one. In the background there, look at that. How cool is that? I don't think that Denit Sonchu, I'm not sure if he's more happier that he's in the podium or happier with the fact that Valentino Rossi's just gone over and shook his hand. Unbelievable scenes here for both of them. Fantastic stuff. Denit Sonchu really happy. Chan On-Chu just going over there to congratulate Somkhet Chantra. What about Valentino Rossi just popping past to give them a little handshake and say well done? There's Somkhet Chantra. He's still limping after his crash from yesterday. Some Thai fans in the crowd as well. Turkish flag being held up in the background. These guys are now going to make their way up onto the podium in just a moment. Mr. Nakamoto just going over and saying well done as well to the top three riders. Of course, HRC heavily involved. They supply the motorcycles here for the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup. And you're going to see a lot more of these riders in the future, that's for sure. But you just cannot write it. Ayagura, you have to feel for Ayagura, and you have to feel for Andy Izdihar as well. And I do hope that the pair of them are okay and they're not too injured. I think pride is going to be hurt the most for those young men. But talk about a jaw dropper. Confirmation of the final result. Somkhet Chantra it is that wins the race and wins the championship. He was 3.2 seconds clear of Chan On-Chu and his twin brother Denit in third. Ryusei Yamanaka was fourth ahead of Irfan Adinsia. Bahattin Sofawoglu also got his best ever result as well. There are only 13 riders who finished the race, so everyone who finished got a point. Kawasaki, Izdihar, Nakamura, Masaki and Ayagura all failing to finish, and most notably Izdihar and Ayagura falling out of the race whilst they were in positions that could have won them this very championship. It ain't over till it's over. The checkered flag has gone out, and Somkhet Chantra, when he thought it was all gone yesterday, has lifted himself up from fourth to first when it matters. No one else can have an answer. He's 5 points clear with none available. Further down there, Chan On-Chu's up to 9th, then it's On-Chu's up to 10th. Bahattin Sofawoglu as well picked up some points there. Irfan Adinsia has moved up a place just at the end ahead of Tom Edwards in the championship. Nakamura went down in that race. Yan Sin and Kit Chun Law not here this weekend riding. Of course, the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup will be back in 2017. It will be following the World Superbike Championship and the MotoGP World Championship around the Asia-Pacific region. And so let's get these three youngsters on the rostrum. A rostrum that earlier today has been shared by the world's best. Then it's on Chu then. Third, second for Chan, and there is Somkit Chantra. The biggest smile in the paddock tonight, certainly going to him. Some nice trophies on offer here as well for these youngsters. In fact, the trophies, I dared to say that that trophy is bigger than Dennis Onchu almost. Well, surprised that he can even lift it above his head. And he drops his hat. At least he doesn't drop the trophy. Second place to his brother, Chan. The win, though, and the champion. If you've not heard the Thai national anthem before, sit back, relax, and watch a young man get very emotional. There are rarely better sights in motorcycle racing than seeing people on the top step singing to their national anthem and then just watching them when it all sinks in and it hits them. We saw it earlier today at Grand Prix level. I won't give away any of the results in case you've not seen that, but it's just brilliant to see. So that's it for 2016. We're done and dusted. Well, it's a good job, really, because we're out of breath after a breathtaking final round of the Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup. Two new faces on the podium and an unlikely winner after what had happened yesterday. Two championship contenders fall at the final hurdle. One stands tall. And Somkit Chantra, many congratulations to you. Thailand has a Shell Advanced Asia Talent Cup champion. Chantra wins it in 2016. Thanks for joining us this year. We'll be back with the new generation and the new class for 2017.